How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? This is the Conspiracy Channel, the Black Conspirator, and we got one more. We got another conspiracy that most people don't know. But you know your main wise, I know about this. Okay, and it's as simple as that. Everybody talks about the Holocaust back in the day when hundreds of thousands of Jews died at the hands of the Germans. Okay, and it was a terrible sight. I mean, it was like the Germans were doing open ethnic cleansing on a certain population of people in Germany, and they were the Jews. And it was a baffling thing. I mean, they went through a lot of things. Germany was a communist, what's that called? Fascist regime and a communist country for almost since the early 1920s. And they've been a fascist regime and a communist country since 25 years. And people don't know this. Again, the indigenous people of Germany, believe it or not, were black. And nobody knows this. Okay, this is a conspiracy, a cover-up. This is what it is. Okay, and that cover-up, it goes back to the 1800s. Black people have been treated bad in Germany. They've been ostracized in Germany, taunted in Germany. Same thing almost in America. But when Hitler came, all heck broke loose. Okay, this article is going to say, it's going to tell you about black African Americans being encaged, also the indigenous population of Germany being treated harshly. They say they wasn't allowed to join the military, the Germany military, but that is not true. Okay, they joined the military. They was in the military. They was treated bad all day, all night. Okay, they was in the military. Okay, and there's certain things that people don't know, and I like to make it light. Okay, black people who died and survived during the Holocaust. This is the title of this thing, and it got me because, hey, you know, when I was a kid, I read it. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? But I thought I'd bring this out. It reminded me of a book I read and so forth and so on. And it talked about black people in Germany. And black people in Germany that America do not talk about when it comes to the Holocaust. Okay? Alright, hold up. January 27th marks the annual International Observation of Holocaust Remembrance Day. And while the millions of victims who perished during the Holocaust were overwhelmed, Jewish and at the forefront, Adolf Hitler, psycho-driven efforts to purify Europe and eventually rid the world of non-whites. It's seldom remembered that black people were also casualties of Nazi terrorism decades ago, according to United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. Okay. Museum website. Hold up. The museum's website says there was no systematic program for the elimination of blacks as there was for white Jews, which I don't get, man. Personally, I don't want to say nothing disrespectful or anti-Semitic, but I don't see how you not call Jewish white. I'm just saying. But it could be a different. Basically, Jews is basically a different tribe of white people. Let me see. They were converted. See, what happened when the Jews came into? There was actually a barbaric tribe who ran into Jerusalem. And what they did was master the language and the customs of the former people that used to live there. Their scrolls, their books, everything was there. Okay, it was left there. It was left there since I believe the Romans invaded Jerusalem in 70 AD. Okay, and they set fire to the Temple of David. That's why you have this second temple. The second temple. I don't know if it was Romans. Either it was Romans or it was Arabs, because in America it's kind of hazy. Okay, how they teach you, but they set fire to the Temple of David, and they rebuilt the Temple of David. Okay, and they took it over. Okay, and the people that was in Jerusalem, they flew, they ran in the direction of Africa. Where they were found about 400 years ago during the slave trade. Now, you will realize that all these people, all these Caucasians that came to Africa, okay, they was looking for a specific race of black people. Preferably the ones who built the pyramids, the ones that helped build the pyramids, and that was the Israelites. All right, probably guided by the Bible and so forth and so on. And they took them as slaves and put them in America. Okay, the Caucasians back then, and they used guides. Okay, that wore hats of the Shriners. You know those little cup hats, those red hats they put on their heads? Those cats. Okay, they used them to find the Israelites who fled into Africa after the 70 AD raid of either the Arabs or the Romans. It's not really clear. Okay, they came after them and took them to slaves 100 years before the enslavement of Israelites that went to America. The Muslims took a majority of people, black people, into Arab countries to be slaves. Okay, now when the Jews came, okay, I forgot the date when they came, and they read the scrolls. They translated the scrolls. They read the customs. They read the biblical text. They read the ancient text. They read all these texts. Okay? And what they did was adopt the Israelite belief system. And what they did is call themselves Jews. Okay? I think they're called Semitic Jews. I'm not sure. Okay? And then that's how you got the Jews of today. Okay? Little history lesson. Okay? The museum's website says there were no systematic programs for the elimination of blacks as there was for Jews and other groups. But to be sure, people of African American descent were certainly not safe during the Holocaust period that killed millions of Jews over the course of more than a decade, beginning in 1933. Germany. During the war, black African Americans and Europeans captured by the Nazis were interned in concentration camps. Bayams Muhammad Hassan of Tanzania died in the Sachsenhausen camp near Berlin, and Lionel Rumney, an American sailor with the U.S. Merchant Marines, was imprisoned in Mauthausen concentration camp. There were many more black prisoners of war facing illegal incarceration and mistreatment at the hands of the Nazis, who did not uphold the regulations imposed by the Geneva Convention, international agreement on the construction of war and the treatment of wounded and captured soldiers. Lieutenant Darwin Nichols, an African American pilot, was incarcerated in Gestapo prisons in Bushbach. Black soldiers of the American, French, and British armies were worked to death on construction projects or died as a result of mistreatment in concentration camps or prisons of war and camps. Others were never even incarcerated, but were instead immediately killed by the SS or the Gestapo. Even before World War II, the Nazis treated its natives, black citizens, even before World War II, the Nazis treated its native black citizenry, children who was mothers who were usually Germans and fathers were of African descent, with pure inhumanity. Okay? So, the natives was native to that land. Like I said, African Germans, mulatto children, there was not always mulatto, children were marginalized in German society, isolated socially and economically, and not allowed to attend universities. Racial discrimination prohibited them from seeking most jobs, including service in the military. That is not true. They was in the military. Okay? With the Nazis' rise to power, they became a target of racial and population policies. By 1937, the Gestapo, Germans' secret state police, had secretly round up and forcibly sterilized many of them. Some were subjected to medical experiments. Others mysteriously disappeared. So what the historical Facts of the matter is that there was black people in Germany, and way before World War II, there was black people in Germany in the 1800s and so on. And they are the indigenous people of Germany. Okay, and that was a long time ago. And I read that a long time ago. It was an interesting revelation because I realized that America did not politically show African Americans being ostracized and tortured by the Germans. Matter of fact, I never seen it in no Holocaust movie. Okay, and I find that freaking strange because there was an African presence in Germany for a long time. Okay, and then when Hitler came along, he just made war with like every freaking body who wasn't white, and the Jews are actually white. So I really don't get why they make some kind of difference. But you know, it's an interesting little story that reminded me of something I read. I thought I'd just put it out there, you know, to let everybody know and African Americans know that there was a presence of black people in Germany. Okay? This is harmless freaking information. I don't see a problem of revealing this. I mean, I really have a real problem with people thinking that we just arrived from the sea on a boat. I do not believe that. I do believe we're worldwide. I do believe we're in a lot of European countries, a lot of Arab countries, all over Africa, and practically I think we're all over every country in the world. In every religion in the world. Okay? And it baffles me. It baffles me a lot. But there was black Germans in Germany. Okay? There was an indigenous people who was there before the Caucasians got there. And I find that very interesting. I'm sorry. When I was young, it was very interesting. It still is very interesting. I mean, come on, man. But check it out, man. There it is. There it is. Not only the Jews were tortured and killed, but we was killed and tortured alongside the Jews during the Holocaust. People need to start mentioning this stuff. Because this is crazy. It should, another black man shouldn't be finding this out. Okay? I mean, really, you should be teaching it in schools. What's the harm of it? But, yeah. Little snippet of black history. I thought I'd just put it in there. Share, like, subscribe for your political, missing persons, historical information that I put up here, and sometimes I put current event. I put current events news. That's gonna come soon. So there you go. Take care.